Good. You have a good trip?
I
Make
got
it back.
in,
Make it back all right?
made it back late last night, so I'm groggy this morning. Not too groggy, but I'm up.
Nice,
So
nice. Okay, gotcha. Well, I just wanted to check in and I guess get back with you about. I just wanted to see, did you have some more time to kind of think about that? And
I really didn't think about. I really haven't thought about it too much. Um, I just trying to figure out what you might be, what you're proposing on it.
Mhm.
If you've got a proposal, you've not really seen that property, have you?
just the photos online I
Just
saw.
just
Yeah,
the pictures online.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how good those pictures are, but because my friend took them, they're not professional photographs.
yeah.
But
No,
there's no furniture in there, so
right.
it's you, you can probably see it. I just put a new roof on it
Uh,
a month ago or so. The roof was horrible, and I don't think those photos show the new roof. So
okay, maybe not. But that's definitely
yeah,
good to know. Um, but yeah, no, I just wanted to see. I guess kind of last time you just weren't really sure. You were like, yeah, I'll think about kind of what I would need down, how long you'd be willing to carry it for, and all that stuff. And so I just wanted to kind of see where you were at with things.
well, if I'd have to have I'd have to have like 10% down. I mean, I think you were talking. I mean, I'd like to have more than that, but you were talking about 8% or something like that. I don't think I can do it for that.
Mm-hmm.
I just, I'd rather have the money. I'd like to sell it without doing seller financing. Even though I did seller financing on other ones, I'm kind of getting out of that phase. So I'm
Gotcha.
not real hot on, I'm real not hot on selling it with seller financing. And of course, I don't know you, and
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to do, even if we did come up with something, I'd have to maybe check you out a little better.
Of
But
course.
and I'm sure you're fine, but well, not 100% sure though.
Yeah, no,
But
I totally understand
yeah,
that. I think that, if we're
and
able to come up with some, I just don't want to waste your time or anything.
right,
Because
yeah.
if you're saying, "Hey, I need half the money up front," then I know, that's not going to work and then we can just
Well,
part
I
ways.
knew that would. Yeah, I knew that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And I really wouldn't want to spread it out, for years, even with, So, I mean, what's your shortest time period on if we were working out something on financing?
Yeah, I mean, I'd really like it to be about 10 years would be ideal.
Yeah. See, I'll be 87 years old in 10 years. So I understand, and I know I wouldn't do it for more than 5 years.
Okay.
So so that's kind of where I am on it.
Okay.
So
So if we, I mean, I can still look at it. It's just hard to. I'd have to, really run the numbers and see. I mean, I usually like to be
yeah.
in 7 to 10 time frame for that, just to get through market cycles and stuff and to be able to, build up enough equity in the property to refinance you out.
Yeah, I understand how that works. So I don't know. Take a look, but I really don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna work. It's a screwy place in the cycle right now.
Yeah.
So
Well, I remember you were saying you were originally you were doing it as a flip, right? You just wanted it to be a
well, yeah,
flip, so you were looking.
I'd still like to flip it, but we're not getting a whole lot of action on, and I don't think it's the price. I've had people look at it, and they say, well, it's probably priced about right, but because I'm underwater on the thing. It's
Hmm.
because of the, but still, so I'd like to be done with it and just to kind of drag it out. I'm not real excited about that. So
Gotcha.
maybe we better just table it for a while. I think I'm going to try to rent it. So get it rented and see how that goes. So I don't want to waste your time either.
Yeah, no. I understand. I just know last time you were saying you had a good tenant in there, but you're like, I really don't want to be a landlord anymore, and so.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do anything with that house. I'd rather have my money in the stock market. So
Gotcha.
and if I sell it with seller financing, I still don't have them. I still don't have the money, and then so.
Yeah, I guess let's say just for I know it may not work or whatever, but if you, in an ideal world or perfect world, if you could wave your magic wand, what would that look like for you? For like how long, how much down, and like what would you want your payment to be if you were going to sell or finance it?
Well, I don't even worry. I don't think about what the payment is. The payment is what it is, but I'd have to have at least 10% down,
Mm-hmm.
and I know I wouldn't do it for more than 5 years.
Okay.
It's primarily because of my age and my kids don't live out here, and I just don't want to dump that on them. So if something happened to me, so.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I mean, 10 years, my God. I don't know if I'm lucky I've been around this long, I guess. So.
Yeah, I mean, even if we did, that, let's say I gave you the 10% down and for 5 years, I mean, and we could, would you amortize the payment over 30 years? That way I could have it lower, or I guess what would you be looking for?
Oh yeah, we'd amortize the payment over more years. Yeah. I wouldn't amortize it over 5 years. We could amortize the payment over a longer period of time. Sure.
Yeah, because I was just playing around with the calculator.
But we just have to have a balloon.
Yeah.
A balloon at the end of 5.
So I mean, if we did, you would basically loan me about $503,000, and then my payment would be about $1,300 a month to you. That's amortized over 30 years, and then you'd be ballooned out in 5 years.
I think your payment would be more than $1,300 a month, wouldn't it?
Well, I guess
it'd be 500. Well, it depends on what the interest rate is.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
what were you thinking of interest rate?
I mean, like I said, the other deal that I bought that just tend to work. I mean, I was paying them 5% interest on that. I mean, where do you? I guess what were you thinking?
5% interest on 5% interest on roughly $500,000 is $2,500 a month.
Yeah. Right now, I'm.
25. It's $25,000 a year, which is more than $2,000 a month.
Yeah, it was $2,700 a month.
Yeah, I don't know. You said something like $1,300.
Well, I just didn't know. I was looking. That was just strictly. That's just what the principal payment would have been.
The principal. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be about my bottom line. I'd look at that, but
Yeah, I guess. Well, you were saying it rented for 26, right? So I'd kind of be. I guess it wouldn't.
Well,
be
that's
cash
what it
flow.
rented. Yeah, that's what it rented for this last time. I imagine that's about what it'd be now too.
Yeah.
If it were rented, I can't imagine it'd be. Well, I probably wouldn't rent it for less than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think right.
So
I think if I just to get me to break even, I was just playing with the calculator. I'd have to be at like 4.5% to
yeah.
break even on
See,
the
well,
property.
that's that's the problem with renting real estate here. In in Ohio where I've done this before, you get if you had $500,000 or invested in a house, you, people rent houses for that are worth $200,000 and they rent them for that amount of money, 2,600,
Right. Yeah.
or at least 2,000. Yeah, you renting renting houses in Arizona. You're not making a great percentage on your investment unless so
Yeah.
I look at it, if I had it to do over on this house and I knew I was going to buy a rental, I would have never fixed it up. It would have rented for the same amount of money without putting new floors and kitchen and roof and just rent it the way it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean I think this house might be. I don't think it. Even if I rent it, I don't think I'm making a good return on my money.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I was looking at it the only way that I like to give you the 5%. I was like, okay, well, we'd have to amortize it over like 40 years to get my payment to around break even.
Yeah. I don't think it'll. I don't think that'll cash flow for you. You're not going to make money. You're not going to break even. You kind of go in the hole on something like this and hope that it appreciates. But
Yeah.
I can
Well.
tell you, I don't know. I don't know how old you are, how much experience you've had with this. But my first house in Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
I sold it. I had it for 12 years, and I bought it brand new, and I sold it for less than what I paid for it. So real estate doesn't always go up, So that's when I say that, I don't want to have it back because, those home values could go down too. So it's risky.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me,
I'm not saying that to try to discourage you from buying it, but you can't you can't count on an appreciation.
yeah, no, and that's why I'm looking for cash flow. And I think I know you said like a 5-year term is what you'd be looking for, but obviously, like, would you? Let's say we were able to do this year over 40 years, 5%. That put my payment around $2,400 a month. I could make a little bit money as a long-term rental. Worst case scenario. Now that's not what I normally do, but just in case like things change, I always want to at least break even or be right around there as a long-term rental. But I mean, I guess is that, I guess if it, let's say the values didn't appreciate to where I could refinance you out, then would you be, open to extending that? Obviously, that way it's not coming back to you and I can continue to do what I'm doing with it and the payments are being made.
I'm not exactly sure what you mean. If we did it for 5 years, would I be willing to extend it then?
If it didn't appraise for
years.
what was owed, yeah.
Oh no, I'm not. I can't do that based on what it's appraised on. That's just too. I'm just like I said. I'm just too old to have too many ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Gotcha.
So
no, I was just curious because the way that I would refinance
I don't think there's any. I'll be honest with you. I don't think there's any way that you can buy this house and make it make it cash flow where you're going to have a positive cash flow. Not with me. I mean, and not with interest rates the way they are. It's just.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't always do long-term rentals. I do a lot of like mid-term rentals, and sometimes I'll do short-term. Yeah. So I'm able to make a bit more money that way. So that's why I'm saying it's okay if I at least break even as a long-term. But worst case scenario, I want to. If I have to go back to a long-term, I want to at least break even. And so like that's why I'm okay with that. But the thing is if I were to later down the line, why I said for it would need to appraise for that to refinance you is because I would probably do like a DSCR loan or something in order to get you out of that property. And obviously, to do that, they go based off of the appraised value. So if it didn't, then that's what I was seeing if we
if it
could
didn't,
do.
then what?
Then we would have to do an
then,
extension.
Then I would have to extend it, which is something that I don't want to do.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty much where I am with it. I would say for now, maybe just to save us both some time, let's just table it for a while, and if this house isn't selling, so who knows how I may feel about it next year or next month.
Okay.
So I just don't see it. I just don't see it working right now.
Okay, no worries. I understand. I appreciate you at least.
But hey, good luck with this. I think you're on the right track with it. If I can ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just in general, do you rent these places yourself?
Yeah, well,
do you have do you work with how do you advertise them to rent them?
Well, so a lot of times, like I said, I do.
I'm going to get a management company. I don't want to deal with it myself.
Right.
So do you rent these yourself?
No, I would have a management company if I'm going to do a long-term rental. But if I do midterm rentals, I have a partner who places tenants and finds all the people to rent it out. Like sometimes it's traveling nurses or insurance companies, things like that. So that I don't do it. My partner does, but yeah.
Yeah, because that's the hassle part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just find the good deals.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I've got your number here now. So let's just. I just don't think. I think I'm going to explore the other things and renting it myself. And if I can't get a suitable tenant, then maybe I'll have to rethink the owner financing and how long and how much but it's kind of just out of the blue right now, and it wouldn't be the first thing on my list. To sell it with owner financing.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. So what do you think? I should check back with you in like a couple months or something and go from there?
Yeah, let's make it a couple months, yeah.
Okay. All right, Jeff.
Yeah, I'll know better then, for sure.
All right.
Okay.
All right, well, I appreciate your time. You have a good rest of your day.
You too.
All right, bye.